When you ready, Scott?
Is it on? Hello, and welcome back to the Cooper Villa channel. I'm Scott Cooper, and we are here to discuss Aston Villa versus Liverpool from last night. What a crazy match that was. 3-3. We're a point closer to Champions League, but we haven't had it quite sealed yet. And we asked the main question is how many goals does Duran have to score before the English football media keep making Duran jokes? So we will be talking about
Just gonna roll it.
that. Hello and welcome back to Cooper Villa Live. We are back after a big week for Villa, and I'm here with Tommy Lazarides, Noah Fisher, and we're here to discuss Aston Villa versus Liverpool. What a game that was. Tommy, I'll start with you because we haven't seen you for a week or two. And how have you been? First of all, happy birthday for the other week.
Thank you.
We missed you on your birthday, and look. What a crazy game this was. There's so much to talk about. I guess the main story coming out of it is John Duran off the bench, 2 goals, and rescued a point for us and gets us just a little bit closer towards Champions League football.
Yeah, probably bailed us out for Emmy's mistake. I feel like if that was Olsen, I think some fans would have probably escorted him off the pitch in the first 2 minutes. So, but anyway, we love Emmy. He's done a lot more good than bad. Everyone's entitled to a mistake, but yeah, just absolute clusterfuck. What a game, right? I mean, when they were up 3-1, I thought, oh, God, here we go. And then we obviously pinched the second one, pinched the third one. Probably could have pinched the winner if Diaby's goal was on target or if he looked to his right and cut it to either Duran or Bailey. But, everyone wants to go for glory. If I'm correct, Noah, I think Ollie's only on 19 goals, so I may actually save myself about $100, assuming he doesn't score against Palace. But I hope he scores against Palace. I want to buy the shirt. So, Ollie, come on, do it for me.
He scored that offside goal, and I was like, yes, he's finally going to buy the shirt.
Well, and then there's Diego Carlos missing it. But is that miss of the year, to be honest?
Nice.
Wow, there was so much to talk about. Like I said, Villa missed so many chances, I think, but it was actually really good to see us play this well, Noah, because it's been a long time, it feels like, since we've actually put in a performance of this. We had an XG of I think it was like 3.4, way ahead of Liverpool's. We, had all these chances. Diaby could have had a hat trick by himself. We had talked about the Diego Carlos miss, which was incredible. We had the offside goal where I thought Leon Bailey and Watkins were going to come to blows at one point because, he could have just stayed, got out of the way and Diaby could have just run through. It was just a crazy game. But like you said, it started quite badly for us with the offside goal, and then how good is it to have Tielemans back? He was just, I thought, an absolute rock star in that hour that he played, and he got us the equaliser. That was huge.
Yeah, I start with the Emmy mistake and touching on what Tommy said. I think if it's Olsen, it's a completely different story. I know it took a bit of a deflection.
We expect it from Olsen. Sorry, no.
I know. I actually think he's been all right of recent times, but I think it took a bit of a deflection, wrong-footed him, but I do think he definitely should have done a lot better. But we move on. That sort of stuff happens in football. Not much you can do about it. But moving on to the equaliser. What a move from Watkins. I think it's now 3 assists, 2 assists clear on the most assists in the league, which is absurd from a striker. So 13 assists, 19 goals is amazing. And hectic game just got more hectic as we kept going through. But I'm so happy Yori's back. I think I said to you in Perth, Scott, when we were watching the Conference League, how important he was to us. And it just proved it again. Absolutely.
That's it. We were going to do a podcast after the Olympiacos game, but we didn't really feel like there was much to say. We didn't rock up for that game. Noah came over to Perth, so from Melbourne to Perth, and we watched the game at the casinos together. That was nice. And there was about 5 or 6 of us there. It
was good.
And it was good. Apart from being in a casino at 3 a.m. where it's very seedy and there's a lot of people that you kind of pity. But look, apart from that aspect of it, it was good to watch the game. Unfortunately, Olympiacos got the early goal, and it was pretty much job done for them. They just sat back and defended, and fair play to them. They deserved it. They won the game in the first leg, but not much to talk about there. Tommy, I just love the strike of Tielemans. I just want to talk about that, the cleanness of the strike. He just talk about someone who, can score from anywhere for us and just give us a bit of X factor in and around the box.
Yeah. His execution's never been in question, Scott. I think it was more Tielemans' consistency, and I like to think that this is a very confident team. And I don't want to jump the gun, but I definitely think this looks like a Champions League side. To go down 3-1 to Liverpool, to show resilience, and potentially we could have even had the lead had Emi not have let that goal in. Some of the other blunders, right? Like I actually thought he could have got a better hand to their second one. I don't think he was actually on his feet. Yes, he's maybe labouring an injury or harbouring an injury still, so we'll let him off.
Yeah.
But I thought we probably could have been up twice in this game, or at least stolen it. But I think we look like a Champions League side. We forget Liverpool have won the league. They're probably on the tail end of their dynasty that they had, right? And this team's won the Champions League, and I really think that we're looking a great side if we can not even put up a performance. So I thought we actually dominated second half and probably could have walked away. We're saying we didn't take our chances. We scored fucking 3 against Liverpool. I mean, we're forgetting that, right? I ploughed Tottenham the week or two before.
Absolutely, yeah. And all the media are talking up Liverpool and Klopp's end of the season and all that. We've got Optus Sport over here, and they're calling themselves Klopptus Sport and all this kind of bollocks, right? It's just like the typical Big Six sort of love-in going on here. But Villa do deserve to be in this sort of conversation with these teams. And look at the performances we've had against Arsenal at home, Man City at home, Liverpool at home. We've been the best team in all 3 of those games, 2 wins and a draw. And it just shows that maybe next season, when we get a big name come to Villa Park in the Champions League, Noah, we can lift and we can put in a huge performance.
Yeah, special things happen under the lights at Villa Park, Scott, and it's such an exciting prospect. Obviously, we still don't know. It's not 100% confirmed yet, but I have to say it's like 95% in our favour. And I know a lot of guys in Australia and probably in England are going to be watching this game, I guess, tomorrow morning, Melbourne time.
And back on what we're saying pre-pod, Noah, so some guys in Aston Villa page, Aston Villa Australia page, shame on you, honestly. Placing a fucking bet on Spurs to win in case they do win and that's your insurance, that's absolute piss week. You should be backing Villa and only Villa. And in this case, Man City tomorrow. So you should be backing Man City or the draw. Put your house on it, and if you lose it, you lose it.
I'm telling you, Tommy, this is the reason why Jack Grealish was sold to City. This is the reason. He's coming back. Yeah, he could come back. Imagine that.
He probably dreamed as a kid to getting Villa into the Champions League, and he's got his opportunity.
He's still good. Imagine that.
Speaking of not living up to your transfer, Phil Coutinho, I see, is on the chopping block. I think there's a Brazil Vasco, the whatever. They're looking at him for 46 million. Huh? 46
million?
No, 426 million.
I was going to say, Jesus.
426 million. Well, I think it's a loan with an obligation to buy. So just clearing that debt off the books actually means we might be able to keep them like Digne or someone. Sanson's off, yes, I saw that. And I wish him all the best. I thought he was a good player, but just didn't get enough time, and then obviously had some unfavourable injuries.
Absolutely. And look, then there was the second goal that we just touched on before for Liverpool. Very close offside. A lot of talk online about where they're drawing the lines and this sort of thing, and it just makes me very happy that next year we're going to get automated offside.
I think they've got in the Champions League. I think they're too busy in the VAR room snorting lines instead of drawing them, Scott. That's the problem.
I know this. It does seem a bit weird because when you see these pictures, like it doesn't look right to the naked eye. And I know, the camera angle and all that doesn't, makes it look like, a bit of an optical illusion and all that sort of thing.
Yes,
always.
I mean,
once you get that automated offside and you see like the glass wall and you can, I think it's a lot better, and we should have had it in last year. And I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see it.
I shouldn't laugh. I was laughing at Duncan's comments. Spurs won Man City 6 tonight. I certainly hope so, Duncan. I'd love it for it to be 3-0 so I can go back to bed because it's a 5 a.m. kickoff here.
Yeah,
it's an early morning.
But I mean, like, worst case scenario, if Spurs were to win Noah tomorrow night again, it would mean that we would only need a point away at Palace.
Technically, unless they batter Sheffield United 9-0.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen, right? So, I mean, this point is crucial that we've come back and got because
the pressure's on them now. That's right.
Exactly. They've got to win both games, and we've got to lose.
Can I be honest? I can see the game finishing a draw. I actually can see it finishing a draw. Like, I think there were some stats about, apart from the FA Cup, they said Man City haven't scored at Spurs' new stadium, if I'm correct. Haaland hat-trick incoming. Duncan,
I don't have won there. I know that much.
Yeah. Well, they say Haaland disappears against the big team, so you should bag about 6 against Spurs then, because they're pissed.
Well, they've got Oliver Skip playing left back, so that's a bit.
What? Yeah, that's genuinely concerning.
Yeah. Look. Yeah, and when the second half, Noah. Look, it was end to end. There was lots of goals at one point. Quanta scores that header from a corner, which was a little bit poor from Digne, not sort of tracking his man, and maybe got out jumped. Maybe he didn't time his jump.
The guy was huge, Stefan.
Yeah, I know. These things do happen, but we do seem to concede a lot recently from set pieces and things, corners. So that's something that Austin McPhee needs to really look at going into next season, because we started the season quite well with set pieces. I thought we weren't conceding many, but we seem to, as our forms dip, so has little things like that. It's gone against us. But Diaby got played in a couple of times, Tommy, for one-on-ones that he really should have done better. Like,
give it off. That's what I mean. If you're not going to score him, fucking give it off, mate.
I know, but I didn't know how to feel about his game, because at once, he created a lot and I think he played well. He just didn't finish those moments. And, I hope he has a similar arc as Leon Bailey next season, and he can kind of take his game to the next level and be a little bit more consistent and a little bit more kind of reliable.
Yeah, I agree. And I just want to touch on Kieran Smith's comment. It's actually true. Not to who I want to see win the league. Can't stand the Gooners or City. I can't stand either, but I'd rather City because they've been winning it, so it's almost just like business as usual. If Gooners win, I don't think we'll ever hear the end of it, right? And fuck Arteta, I think he's a prick.
There's way more Gooners fans than City
I respect Pep. I respect Pep a lot more than I respect Arteta. We can say whatever we want about him at City, but he's been there and won everything, right? So, I do respect Pep nonetheless.
But I think the perfect scenario would be a draw tomorrow night.
Yes,
and then we've definitely got the place then in the Champions League, right? And we can relax on the last day, and then we can watch two teams, Arsenal and City, on the same points. It all comes down to goal difference. It would be quite exciting to see that. So, yeah, because I could see City like battering West Ham 4-5-0 quite easily, on the last day, and get a couple of early goals, and then Arsenal at home to Everton, start getting a bit jittery or whatever. But I don't really care what happens to them. I just want us to finish in the top 4.
Exactly.
And let's hope that happens tomorrow night. Okay, no, let's talk about the man, Duran. Unai Emery again, masterstroke with his timing of his substitution.
I mean, Duran came on for Zaniolo. Is that not right? Who got injured?
Yes, Zaniolo. We might have seen the last of him. He lasted a few minutes before he came off.
That was ridiculous, in my opinion.
Yeah, who said it? Someone said it. They go, fuck, which comment was it? Paul Coxey, Big Cox. Can't see Zaniolo playing for us again. Needs to speak to McGinn and Bailey about playing through the pain barrier. And I totally agree. I think you either play for the badge or you don't. I think Zaniolo's mine, to be honest.
But I'll tell you what, imagine Zaniolo had played on and Duran doesn't come on, because that was the most hectic and amazing substitute appearance. He averages a Premier League goal every 70 minutes or something, which is honestly insane.
And he's only, what's he, 20 or 18?
He's young. But 20, for the first goal, I want to give some praise to a forgotten soul in Callum Chambers.
Yes. How good was he in CDM?
Premier League assist for him today. And I know he's forgotten, and I know he was a bit, why we still got him, etc., and was not good early in the season. When it matters the most at the end of the season, he was amazing. And on a side note, Courtney Horse was at Villa Park last night, and he put a nice post on social media saying he's on the way back, which is good. Obviously, I don't think he'll play for Villa again, but it's good he's back.
I don't mind Chambers being in the squad now. He's a bit of a utility.
No. I love Chambers. I love him. I think it's good because it proves he can play right back and play DM.
He's looking fit, and he goes
around.
I thought he actually looked quite sharp. Normally he's quite top heavy. I think he's slimmed down a bit, but he's looking great. I thought he was actually great in CDM. Yeah, there's been games where he wasn't, but this was a game where we really needed him, and Liverpool are not easy opposition.
That's it. And he put pressure on McAllister, who lost that ball. Tried to spin in a dangerous spot after getting a bit of a dicey ball from Virgil van Dijk. And but John Duran, I just love the confidence of the kid. Right. I just love the some will call it greediness. Some maybe he could have just passed it to Diaby in that moment, and he gets a bit of a tap in. But he goes, nah, it's on my left foot. I'm just hitting the target here, and that's exactly what he did. Low, hard. He's always got a good strike on him. Sometimes with Ollie, you think, he just doesn't
hit
look
and
like
miss
scoring.
Yeah, natural. I think he's a natural finisher, Scott. That's the difference, and that's what a deadly forward should be.
Exactly. He's got a pure strike. He's got a wand of a left foot. We've seen him score some absolute belters this season in limited minutes, and I'd like to see him start against Palace, especially if there's nothing to play for.
Give some of the second stringers a run, I reckon.
If there's nothing to play for, absolutely. But
I think Timmy and Callum Chambers, give him a start. It sounds dumb. I know, we want to finish on a high, and I'd love to see just a bit of X factor, see what they can do, throw them in the deep end.
No, big time. But I just think that there's a reason why Emery brought Duran in, and there's a reason why he sold Archer. And there's a reason why he wants to keep Duran around the squad, even though there was offers coming in for him. And I think we're kind of seeing it. He was so hungry when he came on. He was so determined. I think McGinn said he's nuts on Sky Sports, he's an absolute nutter. And
he said that. He said he can be a nightmare to play with sometimes.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
He's got X factor. He's erratic. You just don't know what to get. And he's probably the same. I reckon he'd be a good fun to be around in the dressing room. It's the third goal, well. Right? We draw. We're 3-3. He goes to celebrate, and Bader's like, all right, good goal. Come on, let's go. We've got to try and get the fourth.
The goal that he definitely meant.
But yeah, I don't know about that. No, I think it was a hospital ball by Diaby. I don't know.
He peppered it at him. He smashed it into knee.
But yeah,
that's an Unai Emery special.
Isn't it fun? Yeah, we done that at against Man City as well, right? The Bailey deflection.
That's it. But I think that was a bit more of a. He didn't know much about it. He was trying to bring it down, and it's kind of just popped off his knee.
We'll take
it. Absolutely. I mean, they got a bit of luck with the Emmy mistake, which he's probably doing that once out of 1,000 times. Not only does he let the ball hit him in the chest, then when he goes to regather, he makes another mistake. You don't see that from him.
You create your own luck, Scott. You create your own luck.
And
that's what happens in football.
You go with it. Funny you think about Duran and Archer, right? There's only about a $5 million transfer fee difference between them, and I think just a world of difference in terms of class. Archer's great. He's good, don't get me wrong, but I think Duran's ceiling's a lot higher, and I think that's what we signed him for. I think he's a big prospect. He's definitely one for the future. People saying loan him out. I mean, yeah, it might be good for him, but I certainly think we need him more than we don't.
Not with the amount of football we got to play.
Agreed. Duran had the reflex to score that. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Kaz's comment, definitely. Yeah. Hey, Kaz, who's fucking... Yeah, we're all fucking exhausted today, emotionally and physically.
Absolutely. Because for long periods in this match, I just felt like we weren't going to get anything. And, and because we were playing so well, I felt like it was an absolute, just travesty. That's the dogs going off.
Dog, mate, that's a pet fucking wolf, not a dog. What is that?
Well, they look after the place well, don't worry. It's a deep bark. She's really very timid, and she wouldn't hurt a fly.
No, Scott's being generous. That's actually his wife, Caddy.
That's it. Yeah, she's.
We love you, Caddy. We love you. Please don't block me.
But look, well, yeah, what I was saying is it would have been an absolute travesty if we didn't get anything from this game, and you just felt like it wasn't going to happen, especially at 3-1. And then they scored again. Yeah, it is a bit of a dingo. All right, I'm done. No, it's not. It's not Steve Bruce. It's there's no cabbage around here.
Cabbage, yeah.
So is there anything you wanted to say about that last 15 minutes? Any of you guys?
The last 15 minutes, I just can't believe. Honestly, like, I didn't get to watch the last 15 minutes, last half an hour live. I had to go to work. Early start, 6:30 start this morning. So the game finished about 7 o'clock. But I remember being at work, and I was like to my boss, we fucked it up. We're 3-1 down, all that kind of shit. And I checked my phone like 10 minutes later, and I just go, holy shit! Like in the middle, like this.
That's what you call it.
I was like, we're fucking 3-1. It's 3-3. I honestly couldn't believe it. And watching the match back, the last half back, and it's crazy because that's probably one of the best football we've played in a while, and we've been wondering why we have not played this way. Like we played it all year and all this kind of stuff, and then we finally get it right in the last bit of the season. It's great.
Yeah. So
I said, no, I can just picture you. I can picture you. You said you were at work. I can picture you 5 minutes in, morning poo break.
Yeah, literally.
Got the camera out.
Mate, it's the morning coffee. 6:30 coffee.
Mate,
sorry,
absolutely.
boss.
It's great.
Sorry, boss.
Lady is a special needs dog, Bonnie.
Yes, she knows her very well.
Bring out the cushion.
Yeah. Let's talk about Unai Emery because he got a great reception at the end of the game, Tommy. Everyone was, singing his song, and he was doing the sort of lap of honor, I guess, last game of the season at Villa Park, and what an absolute hero he's been for us. What an absolute great bit of business by the owners to get him to show him the project, to get him on board. And there was a big, because it was Monday Night Football, Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher did a big piece on Villa before the game. And they basically, getting a little bit of criticism because they said this team shouldn't be in the Champions League, but it's all because of the manager. And a lot of people took offense to that. But I think it was a compliment, basically saying these players are good, but, he's the superstar.
100%.
And he's taken us to the next level.
If you look at every team on paper, Scott, we're probably mid-table, give or take. Realistically, we've got some great players, but you look at all the other squads on paper pre-season, you thought, you could almost. I mean, you look at our predictions last year. I'm always hyper optimistic. I didn't think I'd actually be the closest one to calling it, but it's crazy. And I said, it is all down to Emery. It's just the tactics we play. I think there's a famous photo and. Got all the defenders in line, and I said that's the difference
against
between this
Luton.
team and others.
Against
Luton, right? That's right. Just the line, and sometimes we might switch off. I've noticed, right? But I think the players are knackered. What a time to be a fan. That's all I can say. I've been a fan for about, what's the Aston Villa group? 16 years. I'm about 15 or 16. I started following around 15 or 16 when I was 15, 16 years old. It's been fucking abysmal. But, I was on the back end of Martin O'Neill. Then we got a bit of a cock tease with Houllier, and then just downwards ever since, right? And I don't know, we were just not used to winning. We were just used to being down the bottom and survival, and then we get promoted from the championship and could have gone back down that next season or the one after. And thanks to, Super Jack, we say, oi, Tommy, you sausage. Love you, Scotty, UK. But yeah, and it's like, I don't know, it's like this moment of elation. I don't think it's hit us. I really just can't wait for tomorrow's game to be over. And realistically, look, I do agree with Duncan. I can't see City winning by any less than 2 goals. I really think they're going to play on.
Yeah, I agree, Charlie.
I really agree with Tommy because obviously I was a little bit younger when I started supporting Villa. I think like early 2000s, 2006, thanks to Paul Coxey. What a man. Made me go for Aston Villa. And I thought European football was just a normal thing. Every year we get European football, and then it got taken away so quickly, and then into the Championship before you know it.
Agreed.
And another mate of mine in the chat, Jack, who loves a bit of a funny call, he only knew Villa as being a terrible, terrible team. And I guess that's part of the recent history. And how amazing, I guess, you have your mates that you can go through this with. And I got a message from him yesterday, because I'm going over to England to start the season, which could be Champions League football, which is going to be ridiculous.
I have so many people when they ask me, who do you support? You know, everyone, like, my son's a wild Aston Villa fan. My dad tells everyone all his customers live to. Everyone's like, why does he fucking support them? They're shit.
Exactly.
So, but it's funny, a lot of those people who have been saying that in my friendship group and others, they're all messaging me, buzzing. I'm getting tagged in all these Villa things, you know, like, I remember when I used to
and good things come to those who wait. And I mean,
not 15 years, Scott. Fucking hell.
Well, I understand, but you know, you look at like Man United fans, and they have a season or Liverpool fans where they win the Carabao Cup, but you know they don't do very well.
Next year's our year. Next year's our year, or even worse, Man City. So much success, and they can't even fill their stadium. What an absolute piss take! And I said I'd certainly rather take the last 15 years of being a Villa fan. I remember being at the Charles Dickens. I think Noah, you were there, and a few others, Mikey Ball, Kozo, everyone. And I mean, some dickhead punched a hole in the wall. He was that excited. Like, I remember watching us get promoted. I remember getting excited when we signed fucking Henry Lansbury and Conor Hourihane, you know, when we win the Championship. And there's a lot of players that, you know, I really hope we make it tomorrow. There's a lot of players that have been on this journey that have done their part. El Ghazi, another big shout out, right? That we, you know, he's an unsung hero at Villa Park. And all the players that have left still speak good things. I'll shut up now.
Yeah, like Tammy Abraham, all those guys that were with us in the Championship. I mean, I think it was the anniversary of the Conor Hourihane goal against West Brom in the home leg, and just seeing that back on my social media feeds, and you know, I mean, what a experience it was to sort of, you know, come through all that tough times where under Bruce, where we were, you know, sort of mid-table in the Championship, and
throwing cabbages.
Yes, throwing cabbages, and you know, just absolutely putrid. Going to teams like Brentford and you know, Sheffield Wednesday, and losing like easily. And
Alan Hutton's goal against Birmingham.
That was at my first ever Villa game. I'll never forget it.
Jack Grealish getting king hit by a Birmingham City fan. Like, this is stuff that you're not going to see in the EPL. This is what I miss. Not Villa Grealish getting king hit, but Albert Adoma, right? Like, there's just so many random players. Crazy.
Absolutely.
Jean McCoon. Is this Jean McCoon? Like, all these randoms we thought would be superstars.
Yeah. We've had a few like interesting signings over the years, but now we've got a real core team that are very, very good players, and I think we're going to go again. There's Hermoso from Atletico Madrid. That there's a lot of people saying that deal's done on a free transfer. Wow. So
he's down the Longley, I think.
Yes,
I think so too. But I think Longley has been very, very good for us. I know he started.
I think we've elevated.
No. I agree, but I'm saying like he's been serviceable, and I think people should
he's done a job. I think. I don't think he should have played in that Olympiacos first leg, and that's sort of, oh my God, Bjornsson,
mate. What about Jordan Bowery? Like, I thought he was the next best thing.
That's it. Michael, put Michael's comment back up, Noah, because that's an interesting one. Because tonight,
hello guys, sorry to be late.
It's the Players Awards tonight, and I think they're all going to be on their phones watching the Man City Spurs match. So
I agree.
If the full-time whistle goes while that event is underway, that could be
an eruption.
I think the Villa tables. I think there's going to be alcohol flying in the air.
Yeah, definitely. There could be a good end.
And these guys deserve it. Two that I'm gonna single out for obvious reasons, right? John McGinn and Tyrone Mings. Like, we talk about, we've been here on the journey. They've been there wearing the badge, and you know, Mings putting his body on the line. McGinn's always been a little workhorse, and you know, sometimes his creative flair's probably dropped off, but you know, just his stamina and his excitement that he brings to the team is always going to be there. It's crazy. Like, I can't believe that we looked up to these guys, in the championship, and they're still around. And I think that's what's really important in keeping that core foundation. We've said Bailey, Watkins, McGinn. I'm going to put Mings in there. I don't care if he's never back to his best. He needs to be there. Concer's but there as well. I think Concer and Mings are still actually the gun pair. I would love to see what Mings is capable of when he returns. We forget how good of a centre-back he actually is. So many games, I just think that, with that reinforced steel, I'd love to see Mings come on instead of Carlos.
Exactly. I'd like to see Mings, next to a prime Torres as well,
Prime Torres.
Because he only played that one game together against Newcastle where we got destroyed. But, unfortunately, Mings did his ACL and never got to play.
And he was in career form at the time too. That's the problem, Scott, right? And
he was part of the England squad. He was, he could have played. He could have possibly played in this Euros coming up.
Yep.
After the end of the season. But look, it's a good problem to have. And Emi Buendia as well is back training.
Yes.
A few people are saying, if we don't need anything in the last game, that he might get 10 or 15 minutes off the bench as a surprise. Inclusion, but I don't know.
Maybe a right back, but
it's way too soon. It's
that's an interesting one about right back because there was no Matty Cash. Is he in the squad?
We're cashing in on him.
Is he injured or no? I don't know because he played on the Thursday night, didn't he? Against
but when to bag the winner versus Crystal Palace, that would be insane. Like, I'd probably throw my remote at my TV, to be honest.
Shout out to Ken, by the way, as well, boys.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks for the thanks for the super chat. He's an absolute legend.
Cash and Ramsey may be the one sold. I'm just going to keep quiet, Duncan. I get in
so let us know. Let us know in the comments. Let's talk about some signings for potentially for the next season because who do you want? Who do you want? I mean, someone like an Elise or an Eze would be fantastic.
I heard Elise potentially, but
yeah,
I don't buy into these rumors at the moment. I don't really buy into them.
Like Hermoso came out of nowhere. Apparently, if the deal's done, that's crazy. I think maybe a bit of experience, Scott. I genuinely believe we have a chance at Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm kidding. I make some absurd predictions, but that one's thanks.
Wow.
Gonçalves has always been in the mix, and I've realized one thing since Emery's arrived. Who we're linked with, we actually seem to sign. They're not X Factor signings out of nowhere.
There's we got linked with a Benfica defensive midfielder, Luiz.
I did say that.
It's another Luiz, so that'll be a little bit confusing, but he's supposed to be a good player. Marine Boy's saying not Grealish, so there is. I did see some odds saying that we are the favourites to sign him in the summer, but
Gary Gardner back.
Who? Gary Gardner. Oh my God.
It's your mate. Well, Jack actually follows the Villa. I thought he just joined for a piss take.
No, Jack follows the Villa. Of course, mate.
Love you, Jack.
Big JT. What a man.
Gary Gardner.
Yes. Kaz has a good one here. I saw this as well, and he's an exciting
Alex Baena
player. Yeah, he's gonna. If we got him, that'd be interesting because he's got a lot of upside. So
I still. What about? Do you still reckon we're in for Ferran Torres? Like, I know we're linked with him. Could it resurface? Like, once you got Champions League and Premier EPL,
Champions League's massive. But let's secure it first. Let's just make sure it's 100%.
Hey, we've done what we can.
We still got one more game.
I wouldn't be surprised if we have to salvage a draw from fucking Palace. Touch with action.
That's it. Hopefully, Palace are on the beach, but they have been in exceptional form lately, and their front three are.
Can we get Mateta?
Their front three is probably as good as any front three in the league now. Who's
a better trio? I can't name a better trio. Maybe duo or
maybe
single forward.
Maybe Haaland, Foden, and De Bruyne. But
Watkins, Diaby, and Bailey. Hey.
So, I'll tell you, early on in the season, that was one of the best going round. But unfortunately, I think injuries and just tiredness has just got to the players. I mean, I think I heard them say last night Diaby has played in every single Premier League game this season in some way, coming off the bench or starting.
Yeah,
he played in most games in Europe as well. I think he played in Diaby. So I know he hasn't been great, but he's played a lot of football.
And Bailey too. You can You can tell with Bailey, like his knees all
He's
strapped
banged up. He's banged
Yeah.
up, but he's thrown his body on the line for the club this year. And that's what I mean. Like, these are players you want to.
I reckon he's a good chance for player of the season.
Yeah, Diaby has been the workhorse this year. I don't know if Duncan's being serious or. I mean, he does put in a shift.
He puts in a shift every week.
So who would be your 3-2-1 player of the season?
For me?
Noah and Tommy, yeah.
I will go early season Louise is up there. Early season Louise.
I think it's going to be. I think it'll be Watkins Louise or Watkins Bailey Louise. I think Bailey's had a blinder as well second half of the year.
Everyone put in the chat your 3-2-1 player of the season. 3 votes for the number one.
Winner.
Yeah, the winner.
So
I would go. I think I would go Watkins, Bailey, McGinn.
Oh yes, that's a good one, Scott. Wait, who's MJ?
He's just been a bit more. I think he's been a bit more consistent, and he's also played in different positions. He's helped the team out with all the injuries we've had. He's played
Bailey Torres.
Torres has been good too. Yeah.
Well, I thought even Watkins, Bailey, or Konsa was my second option, but I do think Louise polled a lot of votes start of the year. He's dropped off.
I'm going to talk about Kaz's comment because I think we just got used to having Emmy in goal these days. I really think we just got used to having him there because he's honestly amazing. And again, he wouldn't have been in my until I saw Kaz's comment. He wouldn't have been in my conversation, but I think that mine would be probably Kaz's. To be honest, I think mine would be identical. Now I think about it.
Yeah, I think I would have Martinez very close to.
Jack's giving us a live countdown.
Jack Watkins, Bailey, come on, fucking the suspense is killing us, mate. Martinez.
Well, it seems like we're all agreeing it's definitely
Watkins, Bailey, and then it's either McGinn, Dougie, Konsa, Torres, Emmy. That seems to be the 5.
Yeah.
No one's going to be like Watkins, Bailey, Digne. I mean, he's been Mr. Durable, bagged a few assists. Another one.
Jack has a good comment here that we need a right back. He said Frimpong would be great.
A lot of comments about a right back.
Is there any other right backs that you would want?
Dumfries is up there.
Dumfries is a good one.
I think Man City have a decision to make as well. Man City have a decision to make because they've got Rico Lewis, who's a young star, and they've still got Kyle Walker, who I think could be gettable.
What you reckon? Bring him to Villa Park? Yeah.
I mean, he returned to Villa Park technically. It was a loanee.
Yeah.
Well, he made his name at Villa before Tottenham.
Yeah.
Tommy Fisher Cooper, MJ Drawser. Well, I know what's good.
I'm glad that I got one vote. I'm glad you didn't put Owen in front of me. Thanks a lot for that. I snuck in to a Jesus Christ. Look,
you've been a great host, Scott. You've been the best host on the planet. Don't worry.
Look, I'm the host with the most, right? So I'm just gonna say it again. I always say it, Noah, and you're gonna say it before I say it. I watched the playoffs, and a right back that is playing in the championship right now, who could be playing in the Kyle Walker-Peters. I would
for
take
Southampton.
Yeah.
So why don't we get Kyle Walker and Kyle Walker-Peters?
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good.
That would be good.
So both Kyle Walker, we'll get Kyle Walker and Kyle Walker Wish.com edition.
Yeah.
But Scott and Tommy, there's something from the game I guess we should touch on. The halftime Holt Enders in the Sky tribute. I think that's one of the greatest things that the Aston Villa do.
Yes, it is.
And a former podcast member of ours and good friend and good person, Troy Eccles, did feature on that tribute at halftime. I think it's probably the send-off Troy would have wanted. I think that's something he would have loved to have happened. I know it was like a promise, I guess, that I made to him when he was not doing the greatest, that I would make sure it happened. And just want to give a shout out to Val and Tracy and all the family, because they were very honoured that it did happen. And I think it's just great because there's so many things on Twitter last night about people who were so happy and proud, I guess, that they could do that, because it's just such a nice thing the club does. And I think every club should do it, to be honest. I think they do, but I want to thank you, Noah, for doing it. And I want to
say, rest in peace, Troy. You are a whole tender in the sky. And this has been a wonderful year for the podcast, wonderful year for Villa. And that is just the one thing that, really, devastated us all.
I'm starting to cry. Oh, God.
I know. And I just think, it took a bit of the podcast away that day that Troy passed away. And, we all, love him, and we just think about him constantly, and he will always be a part of this.
He'll be always on the intro.
Film.
He'll always be on the intro, and he actually done the intro, which makes
he made the intro. So
I could picture him reading it. Totally unprofessional.
He did so much for us, and especially in those early days when we only had a few subscribers, and we were kind of like, just a couple of mad people during COVID in our bedrooms.
I can't help but remember when he spat the coffee at the screen.
That's it.
It's a great video.
Yeah. So
it's a great thing that
Aston
Aston Villa do.
A little bitch. Oh,
yeah,
God.
and is there any way, Noah, that we can see that because we didn't see it? Obviously,
it's actually on. I think they posted on social media.
Okay. Cool. Well, we might put that on our Cooper Villa
provide
feed.
a link or something.
Yeah, I can provide the link. It's officially on the Aston Villa page. But I would also like to say, I'm not sure if anyone saw the news about the person that saved that gentleman's life in the lower Holt.
Yeah,
the female
training.
Wasn't it the girl? Yeah, and
Heidi?
then she just
was that her name? Heidi.
Heidi. Yes.
Yeah, I think it was Heidi, and people go, she just walked off because I don't think she wanted the spotlight. But they go, the least you could have done is give her a season ticket holder. Don't announce it, just give it to her.
They did. Which was amazing. And then they actually got to meet for the first time at the game last night, which I thought was sensational. They got a photo and put it on Twitter. But it's just the Villa community had to act in such a quick manner at the time. And I think the club did a fantastic thing. Again, it seems like it's an Aston Villa thing, like to go about something in that.
We've always been a very, very good community, Noah, based on my years of following the club.
Yeah.
It's
always been a good family, and the club seems to be doing a lot of good stuff off the field recently, and to highlight this Heidi, I forgot her last name, but she did a great job, saving that guy and who had the cardiac arrest in the match versus Chelsea. And,
no, it was Olympiacos, wasn't it?
Olympiacos. Yeah. Sorry, and so that was great, and there was another famous Villa fan in the crowd last night. Good old Tom Hanks saving Ryan's privates up there, and the man, the myth, the legend, the Hollywood superstar, and what a game for him to come over to. He certainly got his second game.
It's his second game. So he came to the Arsenal game last year where we lost 4-2. And then obviously came to this one, but I love this. I love his story about becoming a Villa fan. I'm not sure if everyone.
I think it was a couple years ago when we were still semi-struggling, right? Battling, and that he's so open about being a Villa fan. So it's not like he's just hopped on the bandwagon.
No, exactly, absolutely.
One thing I would say, someone saw Mark Bosnich. I don't know who was it in our group or in the Aston Villa Australia page, and they said, "Oh, up the Villa to Bos," and he just didn't acknowledge them. I thought that was pretty piss weak by Bos, to be honest.
I didn't say
because Bosnich went through a period where he never mentioned the Villa at all, and then
now he loves them.
Yeah, he's coming back to it a bit, and I mean, I don't know if you saw the video of him watching.
I did
the Olympiacos game, the first leg where he was hiding behind the couch. So he certainly does have that feeling for us, and I do like Bosnich because he was, as a young Villa fan when he signed. I was living in Australia. It meant that we got a lot more Villa content. I remember there was this huge 60 Minutes special in Australia about Bosnich, and they were talking to Ron Atkinson, and as you can imagine, they'd never heard anything like Big Ron. He was just absolutely going crazy, swearing, at training and going off. And the Australian, journalists at the time, I think it was a bit of a culture shock. Let's just say that. But look, to see an Australian. To see an Australian, that was great.
Bring up Darren Stewart's comment. No, it does make Bosnich plays for the Villa when there's a paycheck involved. I found that pretty funny.
Yes, he does. Or when there's a lot. when there's a line of cocaine involved, he's
nuts. Yeah, Giles junkie. One thing I also want to touch on, like I know we said, like Ollie, honestly, whenever he touched the ball this morning, like he looks deadly. He really looks like a big name player. What is it, 9-figure signing. I think Ollie's $100 million player, realistically. I think Dougie realistically is probably 60 to 70. And again, I know I don't want to go back to transfer, but I think if we get offered that type of money, I do think we can replace him with someone better, good, if equal, if not better, for that same money. I think a lot of other players have elevated.
Don't want to sell him.
What I would say, I think he's a perfect for the Emery player system.
That's what I was about to say, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, who are you going to bring? Like, does a Haaland do what Ollie does in this system where everyone has to work hard? Does an Ivan Toney? Does
There you go, Duncan. Spot on.
Do you know that John Duran has more Premier League goals than Euro? What is it? Was it Euros? Yeah, Euros bound Ivan Toney. But I just think that it's so hard to replace what Ollie does. Haaland has a lot of goals, like 20-odd goals this season. How many from the penalty spot? And how many assists? Take away his penalty goals.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like these are direct goal involvements.
He's unbelievable. He's been unbelievable. 19 goals, 13 assists.
And do you know what I really liked about his game? Sorry, Tommy, about the first goal, the Tielemans goal, is he went on the outside. And I haven't seen him do that a lot recently. Every time he gets that ball on the left, he tries to get back on his right foot, have a shot, and it's a bit predictable. But he's got the pace to go on the outside.
And strength, Scott. Like Ollie's he's a strong unit, right? So if he gets in, bar tag, go along the line, cut it back. I mean, got the assist for Tielemans, right? And also, I know we've said, he could get sold on that, but just his passion when Yuri scored and chanting with the fans. I've seen interviews, where yes, he grew up an Arsenal fan, and if I got signed by another club, I always have my loyalties to Villa, but that's where I'm going to be, right? They're paying my paycheck, but I do think he's committed to the Villa cause, especially if we make Champions League. He's been here for just as long as almost some of the originals, right? He was signed pretty early on when we got promoted.
That's it. And if he signed for an Arsenal, let's say, he would just be another player. He would be a Gabriel Jesus.
Look at Grealish. It's not always greener. I said, you can win a trophy, but if you haven't really done much, your hand doesn't deserve to touch it.
Yeah, and
you just get to look at it.
Is he going to be truly loved? Not unless he scores 20 goals every season.
I agree.
Whereas for us, go on.
If others chipped in and Ollie dropped to 15 goals next year and 15 assists, I'll take that from him because overall, we need him, his play, his pressure, his assists. We don't have midfielders giving us 15 assists, let alone Ollie, right? On what is he, 13? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I'll see if I can find the stat who's got our second most. I think it's Bailey with 10.
I'm also forgetting that Mbappe is leaving PSG into the season. Just saying.
He's available.
Parlez-vous français? I've been working on it. Come on.
You can get him on a free as well,
Yeah, I know.
He's really screwed. You might have to pay the Queen's wealth in wages.
Didn't he get some little ownership in the club and he's pissed off for a free anyway?
I don't know what he would have got. I got some assist stats in front of us. Obviously, Watkins has 13, which is 3 clear of Gibbs White, Gordon, and Gross, and Palmer, Salah, and Trippier on 10.
Do you know what? Gross, I just want to say Pascal Gross is a player I would take at Villa.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Underrated player.
And he's a dog. Yeah. And he's a real dog of a player as well. That's I could straight swap with Dougie. And we'd probably bag 50 mil. Probably bag about 40 mil on top of him.
He's a bit old, but for a season or two, he'd be good. Maybe.
One player on the system might surprise you. Obviously, our next is Leon Bailey, who's 1 assist off having 10 assists.
It's Digne.
No, Diaby. 8 assists in the Premier League.
Really?
Season.
And how many goals now? What's he on? 5 or 6?
I can have a look for you if you'd like. I've got it open.
Now, I think.
Diaby in the Premier League has 6. So it's not. I know a lot of that happened early on in the season. Yeah. Then after Diaby, it's Tielemans also has 6 assists as well. So a lot of midfielders.
He's another one. 5. He's another one that had a bad start to the season when a lot of people were into it.
He's come good. He's come good.
And he's become one of the most important players we've got. And really one of the only players in that midfield that has the ability to unlock a defense. Maybe Morgan Rogers when he played there is a bit like that, and he's been a great signing, and he's been great.
But Tielemans is different. Tielemans doing it.
Yeah.
Tielemans doing it on the national stage. He's been doing it for
I was
fun.
really excited when we signed Tielemans, and then obviously the first month it does take players time to settle in, and a lot of fans jumped on Tielemans' back straight away, and he was the scapegoat.
Yeah.
I know a lot of clubs always have a scapegoat. Ours plays in net and is the world number 2.
He's come from a relegated.
Here's an interesting one in the comments, guys. Just before we go, your 3-2-1 signings of the season.
I like it. I'll go through mine. I think that Torres is our best signing. He's got my 3.
Yeah.
Tielemans on a 3 is my 2, and a smoky in January. Rogers, just for the price we paid for him, getting 1 vote. I know Diaby is going to be on a lot of people's lists, but I just think for what we paid for Rogers is ridiculously cheap. And Middlesbrough fans were laughing at us, and I think we're starting to see in his last few games of what he's capable of, and that's why
I'm going to say number 1, Gauchi. No, I'm joking.
Stole it from me.
Right. I agree. I agree.
Well, you never know. Maybe one day, but no, I would
say. You could be listening, by the way.
I would say your list is hard to go. I mean, Diaby's the other one, right? And what does Diaby do next year? I think Diaby, it's harsh to leave him out the top 3 because he has had an impact, but I would probably go the same as you. Torres, Tielemans, Rogers.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm going to go with Tielemans, Torres, Rogers. I think you have to factor in that Tielemans was signed on a free. His wages aren't even that high, and I think he's just crazy good.
Duncan's a smart man. Just putting it out there.
Tielemans, Rogers, and then Coxie, you didn't put a third one, you bastard. Well, come on, don't keep us guessing, mate. Come on, Coxie. Who's number 3? But I think honestly, I think if Rogers was given a full season, he could potentially be first.
That's what I mean. That's why he had to sneak into that.
And to be honest, when you think about it, right, how well we're doing, these signings, they weren't like crazy. I mean, okay, that's a lie. Diaby was, but like the rest weren't crazy big names. Wait, can I congratulate you all? Interesting to know about Tommy's sexual preferences, but well done all. Michael, thanks, but no thanks. Right, okay. Right.
Well, you have to wait, Michael, for Coupe de Villa late night edition for all that.
Yeah,
but,
it's going to be called Poop de Villa. Wait till you see why. No, I think if Rogers had a full season, he'd definitely be up the top. And really, we didn't splash crazy cash on Tielemans, Rogers. Torres was decent signing, but what are you getting in the Prem for that money these days? Almost nothing.
And I think Torres does a lot that we don't notice as well, like the way he distributes the ball from the back, the way he reads the game, the way he can sort of give us a bit of Champions League experience back there.
Tackling, man. Tackling, like against Brentford, he was fucking sleeping. And I think if Mings is back, I think they're going to learn a lot from each other. I would have loved to, I might say this the whole pod, I would have loved to see Mings' passing improve this year under Emery. I think it would have been an absolute gun of a player.
I agree.
So unfortunate. That's almost a new signing in itself next season. And Emmy.
There's 2 of them. Buendia. And one player we're actually forgetting is
Ramsey.
Kamara as well.
Kamara, yes.
That's what I mean.
The reason for our minor demise.
I mean, can you imagine
man is here.
Owen, you nearly scored a vote off Scott in the Coupe de Villa.
Can you imagine getting a fully fit and firing Kamara, Ramsey, Buendia, Mings back next season? When what that could do for the team, that'd be huge.
Could we go for Kudus? I saw Scotty quoted they're saying you could potentially look to leave West Ham.
I don't. He'd be great. I like him. Fantastic. I do like him a lot.
We can literally just put the Villa patch over the West Ham one. It's fine. You don't even have to change your shirt, mate. It's all good.
I mean, yeah. It's like, how much can we spend though? I guess is the question.
Well,
right?
The thing is, we've never been in this situation before. Champions League football.
If
we get it, crossing my fingers.
It's not how much can we spend. We've never known what it's like to spend money, Scott.
But I'll tell you what. A lot of leaks around Villa Park of the last couple of days. It looks like Adidas. We knew it was confirmed.
Oh my god!
It's going to be announced very soon.
What a reveal!
Which I'm so excited for. But how good is that? How good all around Birmingham, around Villa Park.
Yep.
It's pretty
it's
cool.
Almost like a Banksy mural.
It is. But I heard
have we ever had Adidas?
I know we had Nike.
Yeah, we had Nike.
I don't know if we had Adidas, but
we've had Reebok. We've had
I don't think we would have.
Kappa.
Osto Reebok, Osto Nike.
I don't think we've ever had Adidas. I'm pretty sure.
But it's pretty
Scott
exciting.
Europe for a Rodri type.
Scout Europe, mate.
Oh, Scout Europe. Sorry.
What?
I can sleep, mate. Because apparently my screen's always dark. I've got my torch here, all right? So I'm blinding myself as we speak.
I'm not sure there is a Rodri type out there apart from Rodri.
We'll just sign Rodri himself.
They're not very easy to come by, but
Kamara,
we could get one. Kamara is a bit of a Rodri type, and I think he can grow into a better.
Honestly,
imagine if Kamara
let's buy Duncan. Let's buy actual Rodri.
This is a signing I wish we did get at the time before he went to West Ham. Jared
Villa
Bowen.
fan too, like crazy.
Well, his dad was, but
what about Philogene? What about will we get him back?
I wish he's hung around. I really wish he hung around.
Realistically, what? I thought that was a poo. It's Richard Edwards' fist. Sorry.
Hey, Richard.
Why are you putting the poo emoji? I said, realistically, right, with the relegated sides, I think we could poach from there. They're always going at a bargain price. We've got Tillemans for free.
I look at the relegated sides. I don't think I want anyone from Sheffield United. I don't think I want anyone from Burnley. Besides Archer, he's coming back anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think
I thought the Brun Larsen actually seems like a half decent striker on the bench.
Foster. I don't mind
Foster. But I just don't think they get into our best team.
Yeah.
No, but maybe for squad depth, maybe.
For squad depth, that's right.
And I like for Luton, I like Doherty at the back.
Yeah, I like him as well.
Is that ex-Wolves Doherty, the right back?
No, it's a different
left
Doherty.
back.
It's Alfie Doherty, I think his name is.
He's got a really good left peg, and he's
got their most assists. I think he's almost got 10 assists as well. He'll be up there on the assists as well.
What?
I mean, if we did
defensively,
and if we didn't have Moreno and Digne, I would say
could one of them go?
I was really happy with Digne's season, though. I was really happy when Moreno's been in and out with injury.
I think, like I said, yes, he's had a good year. He's I think, our highest earner by far, right? So it's a lot of debt.
But his contract's also expiring, so he's gonna have to re-sign soon.
I get it, but I think if a Saudi side came in, I think we might have to let him go. We're linked with some. I forgot his name. He's 25 mil. It's us and Man City with him. Loco.
Vega.
Vega.
Yeah. He played in La Liga last year, and he was one of the best young players, and he went to Saudi. He's supposed to be a good defensive midfielder, kind of box to box. I don't know a lot about
what about Barkley on a free?
I think we've gone past
I think he's probably going to go back to Everton.
So do I.
That'd be a good
signing. He's done so well for Luton because he could have gone there for a paycheck and done whatever he wanted in the Premier League.
And he's really busted ass for him.
He's done. This is a
sign
Kessie.
Kessie's a good one.
We were linked with him at one stage as well,
Kessie.
I believe.
I do like him a lot.
I just remember watching Arsenal Spurs and just seeing Partey and Rice alongside each other. They honestly bossed that midfield, Scott. Like, it's just this brick wall in front of the defense. And that's what we need, right? That's how you're going to kill a lot of these big mob.
Yep. I think we also need someone with a bit of flair in the midfield. You know, someone.
Yeah, I think we do.
Dewsbury Hall from Leicester. Go and get him now.
Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah, I like him, but I don't think they're gonna get rid of him.
Unless we shell out big bucks.
This is someone again, Duncan.
Duncan's. I think Duncan's like a. Remember, we have. I think Duncan's a scout for Villa. To be honest,
I like Polina a lot.
I love him a lot. Yeah,
I got a feeling he's going maybe somewhere else, but.
Because isn't what's his name? Isn't Kimmich potentially leaving Bayern? So maybe Pauline is there to slot in.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, which again, not going to be great.
Well,
for them.
Tuchel tried to get him.
I think throw some big money at him. Gibbs White. I think he's an absolute superstar.
Yeah, former Wolves player.
I like Gibbs White too.
Yeah,
it's good, mate.
I
could see us spending 100 mil min.
Look, we should probably start wrapping it up.
Come on, Scott. One more hour. It's fine.
Before we get into predictions, Scott.
Yeah.
The season's coming to an end, and there's heaps of people in the live chat. So what do people want to see at the end of the season? What content do people want to see? Besides, obviously, Tommy's late night show, which has still been discussed. But
I've got a couple of ideas, and one of which I haven't even brought up to you guys. We did talk about doing a Villa draft of the last 20 years, which I think we're going to do, right? And I was going to say, I was going to say a Villa goal draft. So you get to pick your favorite goals for Aston Villa in the last, in the Premier League years, for example. Right?
Boring.
Why?
I want McGinn Screamer in the Championship.
No, you can pick. You can pick it
Okay.
Yeah, let's just say since '92, right? You can pick McGinn's Screamer. You can pick Loughton's goal. You can pick Daly and Atkinson's goal. There's and maybe have different categories. Like everyone has to pick a header. Everyone has to pick a dribble. Everyone has to pick a long shot, a volley, right? And do something like that. A match-winning goal, something like a late winner or something, And would you guys like to see some content like that? Some more sort of
don't give away the best answers. No, trivia will actually be good. We haven't done a Coupe de Villa quiz in ages, by the way. Do we finish off with one next week?
We could do one next week. I think what we could do is do a quiz for you guys in the chat. Now we're doing these live videos. Like we could do
20-second timer.
Yeah, no. Well, whoever writes it first in the chat gets a point. So Rich,
But I do miss the trivia, and I think there is a chance. Because obviously, our good friend Owen would love to come back on and potentially face trivia. I did destroy him in the last trivia we did.
Well, he said he was gonna do the draft with us.
Yep.
So.
I have a clock radio you cannot afford. What's up, Vanilla Face? I can quote the whole fucking movie. Don't you worry. Anyway, go on.
Any other sort of comedy movies you like? Any characters? Were you a Bruno guy? Were you a
Bruno, hello.
This is not a bad idea from Coxie. But that has Simon and
Villa on tour guys on.
Simon lines is a cheat code, so
yeah, we would get absolutely flogged.
Well, that doesn't count then. Not doing any comps where we're losing.
We'd have to rig the questions. They'd have to be like
some Australian based.
Yeah, some like A-League questions or something.
Yeah.
What
is the dark brown spread you can put on toast?
Are you not going to come back on after the Man City game against Tottenham? Let's do it.
Yeah, legit. Or do we just leave this? Do we just leave the stream running for the next 10 hours, Scott? The build up.
That would be quite a long video to upload.
I actually think I have a Robinho Man City top from 15 years somewhere in my cupboard.
Well, are you going to be wearing it tonight?
I can't find it, man. I probably don't fit into the fucking small.
No, that's probably true. Well, yeah, we're gonna
love a quiz. This has been a great show.
We're gonna be doing.
This has been a great show, Michael.
Thank you. A lot of stuff. We're gonna be doing a lot of stuff over the break. We'll
Euros is one suggested by. Yeah, Euros would be another good one. Obviously, Australia's
One thing I'm loving to see is a lot of the fans commenting amongst each other. I feel like there's some friendships being forged. Who was it? It was two of them that were sat a row in front, or they lived around the corner. They used to go to the same pub. Remember?
Yeah, it was Scotty UK introduced himself to Owen, didn't he?
Yeah, just Owen the other week. That was a legend. That was good.
Now that the company Nokia's gone under, we can steal their slogan: Coupe de Villa, connecting people. That's what we are.
And they both agree that Tommy is a silly sausage. I think was
that's literally what is agreed.
I think silly was the censored word.
But I'm keen to get over to England and watch Villa because I got some people I watch the Villa with now. Besides you guys, get to go over there and watch it with some other people. So.
You'll be bigger than Tom Hanks when you go over there, Noah.
I think I will be, especially in this live chat anyway. So it'll be pretty cool. So
get a photo with Watkins behind the gate like you did with Grealish.
I will. Absolutely will.
Do it.
Loved it.
No, I can picture Noah running on and scoring the winner against Palace. Just bad.
Mate, sub me on, Unai. Sub me on. I'll do an e-slide. Let's do it.
That's it. Bring you on to score the penalty that gets us out of the groups in the Champions League. Yeah, why not?
It's almost sad. What are we going to do for a couple months, Scott? Once the season's over,
do content.
I think for the first week or two, I'm going to just breathe and go. We've finally done it. We've made it. Top 4. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Still haven't made it, but let's just say we do. I will breathe and I'll be like, thank God, and I will enjoy the Euros. I
I'm
guess
going for a massage.
Copper America or whatever. But
I could do this, Duncan. Don't worry about that. I could do this.
But that's the dream, Duncan. But I don't know if we've got the
Coop. We'll make a new channel, Coop to Cricket.
No, we'll call it Noah playing with balls.
Yeah, I don't think Tommy
playing with his bat and ball.
I don't think cricket's very big in the Greek Aussie community, really.
The Lazarides household. No chance.
I could never watch the cricket. Cricket and golf couldn't give a fuck, honestly.
You're uncultured, mate. That's why.
Maybe an Atlanta Hawks podcast.
Hey,
Tommy.
Atlanta Hawks. Did you hear about that in the NBA? The Atlanta Hawks, like Detroit,
got the number one pick.
But Detroit that had been tanking for years, and they reckon it was the general manager of NBA actually giving Atlanta the number one pick deliberately, saying don't tank because now you're not guaranteed to get the first pick anymore.
Is there a Wembanyama in the next year's pick, or is a
no? It's a guy Alex Sarr. He plays for the Perth Wildcats. He's the number one pick projection. Yeah, he's 7 foot. He's an athletic French.
He's a star. We should probably move on to predictions.
Okay, let's do predictions before this turns into a NBL and I start bringing James Crawford.
Can I go first? No,
I want to save it for last. I'm going to save it for last, Tommy, because you're going to do something random.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
I'm going to go first.
I'm going to go first, and I'm going to say 4-1 to Man City.
Oh, you stole my thing, Scott, you fucker. Yeah. That's why I wanted to go first.
That's it. That's the game we all care about. And I will say 1-1 between Villa and Palace because they'll both be on the beach.
I'm going to go 3-0 to Man City with a Grealish goal, and he will give the Tottenham fans hell for securing Villa Champions League. And I'm going to go a 1-1 draw, Villa Palace, and Watkins to finally get that 20th goal.
Please.
I just
break the hoodoo.
Break the hoodoo and make Tommy spend $100 plus
absolutely
more.
All right, Tommy.
Okay, so Man City, Tottenham. Being realistic, I think it's going to be Man City 14-1. They're going to win by 13 goals. Absolute ruin Spurs. It's going to be crazy. It's insane. Honestly, people are going to be like just turning off their computers at halftime and logging out. They're like, it's done. It'll be like 7-0. And then I think Palace is going to be 0-0, and I will save myself $100. Tommy T-shirt. Well, Ollie's got to get that goal.
Yeah, can you imagine if like Villa won 4-0
what would you do?
And he didn't
what
get a
would you do? Hold up. What would you do, right? What would you do? Spurs beat City. We've got Palace. Right?
No.
Shut up. No. Shut up.
Spurs beat Sheffield.
You're blocked.
I muted him.
Noah.
Oh, you fucker. No, I said where Spurs win, beat Man City and Sheffield. 90th, we're 1-0 down to Palace. 90th minute pen. It's all on Ollie.
Oh my God! Don't do it. No, I just want this to be done tomorrow night, and we can enjoy the last day of the season. But
exactly.
Yeah, we just want to thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Make sure that you keep an eye on the social media feeds because we'll be going live over the off season. We will be doing regular shows.
Chuck follows on all of them.
Yeah, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X. We're on it all. We're on Spotify as well. If you want to listen to us rambling on and on, you can do that too. Give us a follow over there. And we're going to be talking about transfers and news and all kinds of stuff over the off season. So make sure you keep up to date with all of that. Thanks again for a great show. It's a good feeling. It was a mad game. And let's all keep our fingers crossed that Man City do us a favor tomorrow. And we will be back after the final game of the season, hopefully as Champions League. All right. See you then. Up the Villa.
See you later.
See you next week.